The one thing that we know about Giza is that there is a huge cave system there that obviously has been rediscovered only recently. But radar images taken overhead from satellites show us that these caves go beneath the second pyramid and that they likely go into other parts of the plateau as well, possibly even beneath the Great Pyramid. And that tells us that somewhere here could be a series of hidden chambers that were actually hewn by either the dynastic Egyptians or perhaps even from a much earlier age by the so-called elder civilization that may well have existed at Giza as early as 10,500 BC.
If what Andrew stumbled upon was indeed an entrance to the underworld, could there be other entrances? Some experts believe that the Sphinx might hold the key.
The hunt for some kind of hidden chamber beneath the plateau at Giza really went into extra drive, if you like, with the psychic readings of Edgar Cayce. Now, he is known as America's sleeping prophet. He was born in 1877, died in 1945, and essentially what he would do is he would give these readings that would help diagnose people's illnesses, and often these past lives took place in ancient Egypt. In 1933, he started talking about something called the Hall of Records. And what he said was that this was the repository of all of the knowledge and wisdom that had been brought from the lost continent of Atlantis by the survivors, the Atlantean survivors, been brought into Egypt and stored within this hidden chamber, and that this was located somewhere beneath the plateau at Giza. He thought it was accessed via an entrance somewhere in the region of the Great Sphinx.
When Edgar Cayce's foundation, the ARE, were exploring what happened, that they were actually doing the seismic exploration during a time that I was there with another group. And I had the opportunity to see, it was in that time, it was a relatively primitive form of seismic exploration. They took a very large man with a very large sledgehammer, and he literally pounded onto a steel plate that was on the surface of the desert, creating the shock waves that would go into the earth, and as they came back up, if they went through an empty space, they would travel faster. If they went through solid rock, they would travel slower. That was registered on a graph, and the graph clearly showed that there is a chamber where Edgar Cayce had predicted it would be found under the paws of the Sphinx. Where this gets really interesting is that the chamber appeared to have stuff in it. What is unknown is whether or not that stuff is the collapse of the ceiling into the chamber itself, or if the chamber, in fact, is intact and is full of artifacts from an ancient, highly advanced civilization that Cayce talked about in his readings.
We all have heard about the explanations of Edgar Cayce talking about the Hall of Records underground, the Sphinx, but we usually take the explanations of the visions that we all have very literally. But when we are talking about halls, it's not about a big hall like in our times or in Roman times. For the Atlantean civilization, it was about how to manage the information. It was not only about construction; it's also about being concrete. There are the halls and the paths of records, and those records are water. And all you have underground the Giza Plateau is water, which is the tool that they use to have the records.